Nick Cegelski is one of the best in the game when it comes to cold outreach. He's the founder of 30 Minutes to Presence Club, probably the #1 podcast for B2B salespeople you can't find out there. His insight can help you cut through the noise and land more responses. During a recent webinar, he dropped some game-changing tips on how he's crushing cold emails. Let's dive into his key takeaways. Getting your emails seen.
Everything we are about to cover is meaningless if your prospect does not even see your email. So make sure that you're doing the things you need to get the email in the inbox first.
Before you even worry about writing the perfect cold email, you need to ensure your domain reputation is strong, you avoid spam trigger words, check your templates and remove risky language, and you manage your sending volume properly. All of these fall under one crucial topic: email deliverability. Even a mediocre email in the inbox is better than the best email that never gets seen. So do not underestimate the technical aspects. If you need help with them or don't know how to start sending your emails the right way, I have a tutorial on how to send 1,000 cold emails daily with the best deliverability. Here. Now let's move on to the writing aspect. Writing emails that convert.
Most cold emails fail because of indigestion, not because of starvation. And what that means is most cold emails fail because you try to give your prospect either too much information or you make it too challenging for them to actually understand the problem you solve, what you do, and what the heck you're even asking for. It's indigestion, there's too much information and they can't get it easily. And you have to make it extremely, extremely easy for your prospect to get those three things. What problem do you solve? How do you solve it? What do you want from them? If they can't get that immediately, your cold email is going to get deleted because you are asking them to do thinking work.
Sure, your goal is to sell, but if your email immediately asks for a meeting, you're making it too easy for the prospect to say no. That's how you lose trust and interest. So what's the right path then? The golden rule. Keep it simple. Make sure your email answers 3 key questions. 1. What problem do you solve? 2. How do you solve it? And 3. What do you want from them? If your email makes the reader think too much, they'll delete it. You need to show them that you understand the problem they might be facing. Nick calls this the problem proposition instead of the value proposition. Just take a look.
I prefer what I call a problem proposition, which is your value proposition talks about how you're great and the problems you solve. The problem proposition talks about the problem your prospect is facing.
And here's a real example of what a clear and concise email looks like.
I'll just give one example. If I am prospecting a CFO of a law firm, I might write an email and the problem might be something like, I talk to a lot of CFOs of insurance defense law firms who tell me they're frustrated with all of the deductions, rejections, and appeals that they get on the bills they send to their insurance carrier clients. I'm writing to you about a solution that can make sure all of your bills go out clean and you don't have to deal with the back and forth to collect cash. Would you be open to learning more?
See, a top-of-mind example where you have one sentence about the problem, one sentence about the solution, and one clear call to action. No fluff. Crafting subject lines that get opened. Now let's tackle subject lines.
The goal of a subject line is not to get the prospect to say, cool, send me a DocuSign, let's do this thing. The goal of a cold email is not to get them to say, yeah, let's sign a deal. The goal here is to get them to say, I do have that problem.
I love this slide from Nick because it sums up everything you need to know. First, don't sell in your subject line. Avoid anything that screams marketing or sales email. Second, make it about them. Forget subject lines like, I can help you with problem. Instead, use ones that are relevant to the recipient based on their interests and connected to a previous touch point.
If I cold call Darren, he doesn't pick up, I leave him a voicemail, I'm going to send him an email right after with the subject line, just called. And that works because Darren's like, okay, see a missed call on my phone, get an email right after that says just called, he's probably going to open that one.
The power of preview text. Got the subject line right? Great. Now let's talk about the preview text, the line of text they see before opening the email.
Before you open up any email, you can usually see the sender name, the subject line, and the first, I don't know, like 30 to 50 characters of the email. So you can usually see like the first part of the first sentence. People look at that piece. It's almost like an extension of your subject line.
And here's something nobody is talking about. The preview text matters. Look at these random emails I received. All I see is, I'm getting in touch, I'm Vijay, the co-founder, I came across your site, and so on. See the pattern? If your preview text looks like every other sales email, you'll blend in.
Well, one of my philosophies about sales is you can't be perceived to be better until you are first perceived to be different. And so, if you want to be a great salesperson, really all you have to do is look at what the masses are doing and then just do the opposite, do different than that.
If all you see is just flip it. Look here.
She'll literally kick an email off and it will start scrolling through your careers page, and I noticed, as opposed to I noticed X. She'll put scrolling through or looking at or stumbled, like, I don't know if she'll do stumbled, but like I love you to scrolling through your careers page, because that doesn't look like a normal sales email.
To summarize the subject line preview text, think about how your email looks before the recipient even opens it, writing like a human. This is my favorite part because so many cold emails sound robotic, overly polished, and full of fake personalization. What is Nick's approach to that?
Use contractions, write conversationally, read your email out loud, send it to like a buddy of yours. If they see it and they're like, dude, this doesn't sound like you at all, make it more like you. Remove whatever jargon you can, so stuff like platform or workflow or single pane of glass or optimize. Words like those might be they're often a catch-all for any product. They're not specific enough for your prospect to actually understand what you do and make you blend in with a sales email.
Yeah, cut formalities. Keep it simple. You can even use Hemingway app to check if your email is easy to read. At the end of the day, even sales emails should sound like a real person wrote them. Alright, we just covered a ton of tangible email tips from Nick. Now it's your turn. Check your cold emails, LinkedIn messages, or cold scripts and apply these lessons. The approach is simple. Get seen, be clear, be human. And your cold outreach will start getting you real results. If you want more tips on cold outreach, just subscribe to this channel. Also, if you're interested in another sales guru advice, check out the Alex Hormozi breakdown here. And see you next time. Bye!